Hello there and welcome to this episode of Inside Southeastern Basketball with head coach Jay Ladner, presented by the Hampton Inn of Hammond. I'm Alan Waddell and joined as always by the head basketball coach of your Southeastern Lions, Coach Jay Ladner. And Coach, it's hard to believe the regular season is over as you're now preparing for the conference tournament. So congratulations, first of all, for qualifying for the conference tournament. But it was a tough end of the year for your club, and you're looking to get some momentum now getting ready for the conference tournament.
Well, no question. You know, we kind of limped in there toward the end. I was very proud of our effort down the stretch, and certainly, you know, every single game we were right there and had the opportunity to win. You know, we go back to the McNeese game a couple weeks ago. We were 6-7 in the league. We go there. We ended up losing by 5. We were 12 of 24 at the line. Obviously, a game that we felt like it's one of those games where you feel like that you outplayed your opponent, but you came up a little bit short on the statistic that mattered in the scoreboard. And you know, from that point forward, we've really, and we got to make our own luck. But we've certainly had some, you know, some close games that could have gone either way and lost by 1 and 2 and 4 and 5. You know, so anyway, but as of right now, you know, the tournament's about to begin. Everybody's 0-0.
Coach, you started this past week on the road down at UNO. We talked about it going into last week's show. This is going to, I believe, turn into a big rivalry between these two schools. Talk about that game down there in the Lakefront Arena.
Well, oddly enough, to give the fans a little bit of history of that, as close as the two teams are together, haven't played very many times. You know, they came here, they beat us on the last shot of the game. We go there, less than a minute left, we're down 1, ended up losing by 4 or 5 there. But very hard fought. There's a lot of emotion involved in the games on both sides. So I think you're really seeing the seeds being sown to a very hard fought rivalry. And you know, rivalries are good. I think. I think that they add some excitement, and so we're looking forward already to the UNO games for next year.
All right, well, let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at Senior Day as the Lions were in action at home against Nicholls State as they wrapped up the regular season at the University Center. Right here on Inside Southeastern Basketball with head coach Jay Ladner, presented by the Hampton Inn of Hammond.
With every stay at Hampton, enjoy our free hot breakfast options.
You did a great job. It looks good.
Then fuel up with up to 9,000 honors bonus points on a long weekend stay. Make every stay more rewarding and feel the Hamptonality.
Inside Southeastern Basketball with Jay Ladner is made possible by Angelo's Lawnscape of Louisiana. For over 30 years, Angelo's Lawnscape of Louisiana has been a premier landscape architect design company. Angelo's specializes in both commercial and residential work. Angelo's offers their clients a buildable and realistic solution with a focus on design, construction, and proper maintenance techniques. Owner Angelo DiStefano, Southeastern class of 1972, invites you to visit Angelo's Lawnscape of Louisiana at 13750 Jefferson Highway in Baton Rouge, or visit their website at angeloslawnscape.com. Angelo's Lawnscape of Louisiana, a proud supporter of Southeastern and Southeastern basketball.
Inside Southeastern Basketball is made possible by support from Friends of Ginger Ford North Shore Fuller Center for Housing, located in Hammond, Louisiana. Ginger Ford North Shore Fuller Center is a nonprofit Christian housing ministry serving Tangipahoa and Livingston parishes. They strive to help low-income, elderly, and disabled citizens obtain safe, decent, and affordable housing by using volunteers to build and repair. Homeowners pay for the building materials based on terms they can afford. The Fuller Center is supported by 3 retail stores which accept donated items from the public. The reused store features construction supplies, appliances, and furniture. The Fuller shop carries housewares and decorative items for the homes, as well as books, videos, and jewelry, while the Rabbit Hole sells gently used clothes, shoes, and fashion accessories. Visit all 3 stores at 955 South Morrison Boulevard in Hammond, or call 985-419-0256 to schedule a pickup. For details on volunteer opportunities, find them on Facebook under Ginger Ford North Shore Fuller Center, or visit www.gingerfordnorthshore.org. Welcome back to Inside Southeastern Basketball with head coach Jay Ladner, presented by the Hampton Inn of Hammond. Your Lions were at home at the University Center to take on Nicholls State as it was Senior Day. Here's the first half highlights. All right, Coach, it's Senior Night as celebrating Cedric Jenkins, also Anochi Ochi and Devontae Upson in this one. The last regular season game at the University Center, it's really hard to believe how fast the season's gone by.
Incredible. You know, here we are. It's funny because when we first met with them, said, you know, it's going to be here before you know it, and then it'll be over before you know it. And sure enough, now it's before you know it. You know, it's over with. And as far as the regular season's concerned, and next time we lose, the season will be over. And but our goal is to always go out as a winner. But only one team in the country is going to be able to do that. But yes, last game I thought our guys gave a good effort, but just not quite good enough.
You can see Nichols jumped on top 5-0. You come back with a little spurt, 5-4, and get back in this one. This was really a close ball game, especially in the first half, back and forth the whole game.
Well, it was a tight game when we played them at Thibodaux. We were able to prevail down there. Another tight game here in the University Center, and again, we didn't shoot the basketball very well from the free throw line. Ended up costing us in a close game.
Take the lead right there early as you go on a little 6-0 run against Nicholls State, and this is a team that really wants to slow it down, limit possessions, kind of make it an ugly basketball game.
They really do. They like to chop the game up, have the game played in the half court. We prefer more of a full court game. So it was teams against the wheel, a beautiful high-low action right there between Ochi and Upson. I think Devontae Upson has played extremely well over the last few weeks. He's playing the type of basketball that we need to advance in postseason play.
Nice spin move, attacks the rack for Nicholls State. As you can see, stayed 1, 2, 3-point game almost the whole first half.
The whole way, and most of the game, they did have a little spurt there in the second half, kind of stretched it out on us, but stretched it out on us, I should say. But nice play right there by Cedric Jenkins, become an offensive force in the league.
No doubt, Cedric coming off of a 39-point outburst against UNO, but also have a nice game in this one against Nicholls State as well. And Cedric, with some of those guys being out, some of those guards, he's had to really take over that guard position, and he's become a scorer from the guard position.
Absolutely, no question. We were counting on Cedric. He's played most of the year very injured. He's going to have a surgery as soon as the season's over with. That shows you what type of pain and the type of injury or severity of his injury that he does have. But gosh, he has really stepped forward. He's really put us on his back and given us an opportunity to win ball games. Nice play by Upson. Nice, beautiful move and finishing right there and then going and sticking it back in.
For a big man, he has some athleticism in there, can jump off his feet, get off his feet pretty quickly, and you saw that with the double. After he missed the first one, was able to go up and get the second as another nice drive by Cedric Jenkins. Look, tie ball game, 28-28 here late in the first half.
Is that just doing, we're doing a good job on the offensive end. I would have liked to see a few more stops.
Coach, really a nip and tuck first half. It ends up being a 1-point game as you go to the locker room.
Very hard-fought game. Nichols, we beat them in a close game a couple weeks ago down in Thibodaux. They returned the favor last night. Very much different type of team than the rest of the teams in the league. Very slow-paced, which is odd for the Southland Conference. Very patient on offense. Then you have to give them credit. They've chosen that style of play. Very disciplined in running their offense and did a good job. We got them late in the clock a number of times, and they knocked some shots down as the shot clock was going out, and you have to give them credit. They've taken nothing away from them. They found a way to win in the second half.
All right, let's go back out and check out those second half highlights. All right, Coach, coming back out for the second half in this one. Switch ends of the floor. They go on top 37-34 here early on in the second half, but come back, a nice aggressive move, a great feed there to senior and Ochi.
Oh, that's a beautiful play. Rebound, got the basketball out in transition. Beautiful feed by Cedric over to Ochi for the basket. Nice play there by one of the Nichols players, knocking the shot down. Here's a three-pointer. Their little stretch there, they're in a little run that really hurt us, and was frankly the difference in the ball game.
Nice move that time by Upson.
I really felt like Devontae, they had a hard time controlling him inside, and although we got the ball, he had a good game. Really felt like he could have scored almost every time he touched the ball, which we would have been a little more patient at times of getting the ball. He and Cedric Jenkins were having a field day in there.
Is that something you're trying to do, is try to feed the ball to Anochi here in the to Devontae when we get to the conference tournament?
No question. They're the I hate to say that our offense will just totally be, they have to touch it before it's shot, but we're certainly heading toward that, in that direction. As they've really both have been doing an outstanding job in the last couple of weeks.
There's Daniel Greaves gets in there and it gets a hard bucket as cuts it down to 7 points as Nichols comes down and hits a nice jump shot.
Yeah,
on the other
and we did a very poor job, Daniel did, of contesting that shot. If you notice, he had his hands down, and that's tough. That's a tip that here I'm not sure he was attempting. He just got his hand on it. He was hustling, make a good play, the kid for Nichols, and the ball just happened to fall in for him.
Nice three-point shot there by Cedric Jenkins, once again coming off of a 39-point outburst against UNO and followed up with another nice one against Nichols.
Yeah, he really did. He's been very consistent here. As a shot that we block, goes straight up in the air and falls in. It was just that kind of night for us.
You can see they stretch it out to a 10-point game. But I think it's important to show the character of your club that, like we said, things haven't been going your way, and don't quit. Don't shut it down and continue to fit right back in the ball game.
No quit, no quit in this group, and because of that, they're a joy to coach. I'd love to seen, and we certainly would have liked to have a little more success as far as the win-loss is concerned. But success is really doing the very best that you can do. They've given us everything they've had, and more.
Have a little question there with a call, but it was a 9-point game at this point. Asking a few little questions there to the officiating crew.
Just having a little friendly discussion.
That's
there.
right.
We'll just leave it at that.
That's right. They hit a big 3-point basket to go up by 12.
We kept clawing at the lead, but again, we didn't get enough stops on the other end until the last couple of minutes to really make a game out of. We had some opportunities, but again, we have to play more consistently for 40 minutes and not 36 or 30, 38. You got to do it for 40 minutes, and that's what the good teams do. And we're having a little lapse maybe here or there, and that are costing us ball games. We really got to tighten up. We just got to tighten up if we're going to have an opportunity to win this week. Came
down late in the ball game as a 6-point game with a little over a minute to play. As unfortunately on senior night, Ochi fouls out. He's done that quite a few times this year, but he fouls out and just didn't have enough on this night against Nichols. Coach, unfortunate way to end the season, losing a close game to Nichols at home, a rival school. But like you mentioned at the beginning of the show, everybody's 0-0 now as you go into that conference tournament.
Yeah, certainly disappointed that we didn't win the basketball game last night. That was a point of pride to me personally and to our team, and especially for our seniors. We had 3 outstanding young men that played their last home game in the University Center. I just felt like that we owed it to them to go out with a W. It was unfortunate it didn't happen. We fell a little bit short, but certainly should add motivation to our first round game this week.
And you mentioned it was senior day at the University Center. Let's go back out to the UC and check out a package on those seniors. They say all good things must come to an end. Well, on Saturday night, 3 Lions seniors played their last home game at the University Center as the Lions took on Nichols State. Before the game, the 3 seniors were honored, and a few of them admitted to having to try real hard to hold back the tears.
It was pretty neat, got a little worked up teary-eyed, but had to fight through it. But it's a great experience. It's crazy this being my last game at the UC. Been a lot of memories, playing, and I just look forward to keep trying to play at the next level also.
I mean, before the game, I was surprised. I actually started tearing up a little bit. Just all the memories started coming in my mind, and having my family here for the first time at SLU. They've been a couple games, away games, but the first game here was it was a special thing for me. It's been a great run, great 5 years here. Basketball has been great, but more of the people I met some awesome people that that's gonna be friends the rest of my life. It's frustrating to lose, and man, I didn't necessarily play great today to help my team make some mistakes, but I thank God we have a conference tournament coming up. It's a new season, 0-0, so new opportunity.
Anochi Ochi, Devontae Upson, and Cedric Jenkins were all honored in the pregame ceremony as they traded high fives and chest bumps with their teammates and got a hug from their coach, as well as being joined by their family on the court. Ochi, the lone fifth-year senior, was escorted onto the floor by his family for the last time, and he took in every moment of his last home game.
Well, I mean, honestly, family is everything to me. I'm of Nigerian descent, and Nigerian family is everything. My parents, and I'm very close to my siblings, my 2 brothers and my sister, very close to my parents, and so anytime they're around, I'm happy. You know, I'm always joyful no matter what. You know, so because I miss them, don't see them too much. Anytime they're around, it's great to have them. And they were here for my graduation, and that was a blessing, man. Just for them to be at this game, you know, I would look at them in the stands and it just bring me joy and help me try to play hard. Even though, like I said, it was frustrating night, but we have another opportunity, so I'm thankful for that.
When I first came here, you know, I love the atmosphere. I love the stadium. It's a beautiful stadium. You know, I love the athletic department. It's real close. When I came here, I really had a bond with some of the players, you know, that are no longer here, but, you know, I had a close bond with some of the coaches, Coach Sip, Coach House, a couple of them that gone, LC. But, you know, it really brought me, it made me learn a lot here grow up to be a man, you know, go through adversity every day, you know, just stay positive and try to block out the negative and move on to the next.
The three seniors will now lead the Lions to Katy, Texas for the Southland Conference Tournament, and all three hope they have a lot of basketball still to play. Well, Coach, we had a look at three seniors, Cedric Jenkins, Devontae Upson, and also Anochi Ochi, and really three different guys that got here in three different ways. Anochi Ochi was a fifth-year senior. Devontae Upson, a two-year guy from a junior college, and then Cedric Jenkins, a one-year graduate transfer player, but still, all three guys very important to the program.
Very, very special place in my heart. I'll certainly go to my grave and never forget these young men. Simply, anytime you coach an athletic team, you rely so much on those seniors. And what's so special to me about this particular group is that over the course of this year, with all the adversity that this particular team has faced with injuries and sickness and whatnot, they have helped hold this team together. I think young men of less character would have thrown the towel in weeks ago, and they haven't done that, nor have they allowed the team to do that. And that's special to me. They continue to fight and scrap. And really, it's incredible to me that they had an opportunity to continue to win games. And so we're very proud of Anochi and Devontae and Cedric.
And one thing we failed to mention about Cedric, put up 39 points against UNO, chased the school record there, so a monster offensive performance down in the Lakefront Arena.
Cedric Jenkins, you know, he and I were joking after the game at UNO the other night, and certainly we were disappointed that we lost, but I was trying to make light of the fact that he's doing it basically on one leg. As anybody that's seen him play, he limps. He's got a broken clavicle. He's playing with that. Couldn't afford to have the surgery simply because he didn't have the time to be able to sit out, and he wants to play. But if he's not the epitome of what we would like our players now and in the future to look like here at Southeastern, I'm not really sure what is. But had another outstanding game. Had a great game at UNO, and he finished this week with another outstanding offensive game against Nichols last night. And we'll really count on him as we head into the tournament to give us an opportunity to win.
All right, let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll have a unique spin as strength and conditioning coach Brandon Howard is in the house, and we'll spend some time with him. And then when we come back at the end of our show, Coach Ladner and I will break down the conference tournament right here on Inside Southeastern Basketball with head coach Jay Ladner, presented by the Hampton Inn of Hampton.
With every stay at Hampton, enjoy our free hot breakfast options.
Did a great job. It looks good.
Then fuel up with up to 9,000 honors bonus points on a long weekend stay. Make every stay more rewarding and feel the Hamptonality.
Inside Southeastern Basketball with Jay Ladner is made possible by Angelo's Lawnscape of Louisiana. For over 30 years, Angelo's Lawnscape of Louisiana has been a premier landscape architect design company. Angelo's specializes in both commercial and residential work. Angelo's offers their clients a buildable and realistic solution with a focus on design, construction, and proper maintenance techniques. Owner Angelo DiStefano, Southeastern class of 1972, invites you to visit Angelo's Lawnscape of Louisiana at 13750 Jefferson Highway in Baton Rouge, or visit their website at angeloslawnscape.com. Angelo's Lawnscape of Louisiana, a proud supporter of Southeastern and Southeastern basketball.
Inside Southeastern Basketball is made possible by support from Friends of Ginger Ford North Shore Fuller Center for Housing, located in Hammond, Louisiana. Ginger Ford North Shore Fuller Center is a nonprofit Christian housing ministry serving Tangipahoa and Livingston parishes. They strive to help low-income, elderly, and disabled citizens obtain safe, decent, and affordable housing by using volunteers to build and repair. Homeowners pay for the building materials based on terms they can afford. The Fuller Center is supported by 3 retail stores, which extend accept donated items from the public. The reused store features construction supplies, appliances, and furniture. The Fuller shop carries housewares and decorative items for the homes, as well as books, videos, and jewelry, while the Rabbit Hole sells gently used clothes, shoes, and fashion accessories. Visit all 3 stores at 955 South Morrison Boulevard in Hammond, or call 985-419-0256 to schedule a pickup. For details on volunteer opportunities, find them on Facebook under Ginger Ford North Shore Fuller Center, or visit www.gingerfordnorthshore.org. Welcome back to Inside Southeastern Basketball with head coach Jay Ladner, presented by the Hampton Inn of Hammond. I'm Alan Waddell, and joined now by the strength and conditioning coach here at Southeastern Louisiana University, Coach Brandon Howard. Coach, thanks for stopping by and spending some time with us. Obviously a busy time for you. You got multiple sports crossing over. But first of all, just talk a little bit about the training regimen that goes with basketball. I think sometimes people think, you know what, all strength and conditioning for is football, but it's a lot more than that.
Yeah, it's you've got to look at it from a different perspective. You know, you always have to break down the sport, the individual sport, based on kind of what the individual needs are of the athlete. But you also, with basketball players, you really have to look at the body types. You know, you're looking from guys anywhere from 5'7", 8', 9" to a guy like Devontae Upson, who's in that 6'8", 6'9", 6'10" range. So the different body types kind of take that into consideration with what you're doing now. There are some similarities between all sports. You know, the key movements and the key exercise that you're going to do, but we're going to take a different approach when it comes to our basketball players.
It's been well documented this year with Coach Ladner. An unfortunate season with the injury bug, a lot of injuries, and you're going to have your work cut out with you. Some of these guys coming off of some ACL tears and trying to rehab and get back ready for next season.
Well, yeah, obviously injuries are part of the game. You know, they happen regardless of the sport. And with these guys coming back from injuries, you're going to look at, obviously what the injury was, where they are post-op, where they are in terms of their rehab. And there's that cohesion that goes on with myself and the athletic training staff where we say, okay, this is where they are, this is the timetable that we have, and this is where we got to get them to. So, us working together between, myself and the athletic training staff, we're able to kind of give them a return-to-play protocol that's going to allow them to get back and to maximize not only their rehab, but continue to build strength, continue to develop. We don't want to, take that time to lose anything. So if we can get that and we can get on the same page with everything, you're going to have the kid back. Not only are they going to be back healthy, but they're going to come back stronger and better than before. I
know you don't have some type of timetable or graph in front of you, but just kind of take us through a little bit. The day the season ends for basketball, what's the time frame? When do they get back in the weight room? How does that work?
Usually they're going to get done in the next few weeks, and what's going to happen is we're going to give them some time off. The kids have been playing since October. It's a long season. This is one of the only sports that actually crosses over from a fall time to a springtime. So it's a long season in terms of the things that we do. And you look at what the schedule entailed with us traveling all over the place, playing a bunch of different games at the beginning of the year. But we'll give them a little bit of time off. We'll bring them in after the season's over. And what I'll do for me is I'll actually reevaluate, okay, where are we at? Who do we have coming back? What do we need to work on? What are some areas that we need of concern that we need to get ready for the following year? And, we'll bring them in probably upwards of 3 days a week to start out with for the rest of the spring. We'll get some baseline data, some baseline numbers and things. And then, it's just kind of a transitional period from the in-season to what we consider our off-season, which will be the summertime. So we're just trying to kind of get them back in, start building that base level strength again, start building the movement patterns again. And then, like I said, everything will carry us into our summertime training where we'll really kick it up to another level.
For those outsiders that look at the program and say, or all the programs on campus, and look at the recent success of all of Southeastern athletics, I'll tell you, this guy right here has a lot to do with it behind the scenes. Our teams are bigger, stronger, and faster than they have been in the past. Well, Brandon, thanks for stopping by and spending some time with us, and continue your hard work here for Southeastern.
Thanks, Alan. Appreciate it.
All right, let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll bring Coach Ladner back on set, and we'll talk more extensively about the conference tournament over in Katy, Texas, right here on Inside Southeastern Basketball with head coach Jay Ladner, presented by the Hampton Inn of Hammond.
With every stay at Hampton, enjoy our free hot breakfast options.
You did a great job. It looks good.
Then fuel up with up to 9,000 honors bonus points on a long weekend stay. Make every stay more rewarding and feel the Hamptonality.
Welcome back to Inside Southeastern Basketball with head coach Jay Ladner, presented by the Hampton Inn of Hammond. And Coach, I know this is your first year at Southeastern, your first year, a chance to work with Coach Brandon Howard. Your thoughts on him and his program?
Outstanding. One thing I worry about, and Brandon and I were talking about it before tonight's show, we worry about keeping him. That's how good he is. And I have actually voiced that to Coach Artigues, that just whatever resources that we have to be able to keep him here. And I can assure you the success that we're now enjoying in football, in Coach Reiser's baseball program, and beginning to see a turnaround in the basketball program, a lot of that is directly attributable to the job he does. Extremely dedicated and talented. Coach Howard does a great job. I just hope we can keep him right here in Southeastern.
All right, now let's talk about now, Coach, as you're going to take the trip over, as you've qualified for the Southland Conference basketball tournament, a chance to play some postseason basketball. It's going to be played at the Merrill Center over in Katy, Texas. You're the 8th seed. You're going to open up on Wednesday night against McNeese State, a very familiar opponent in the opening round.
Well, we've had 2 very close games with McNeese. Certainly we're disappointed we didn't win both of them, and for sure probably should have had a split, but unfortunately they made some, they made some plays we didn't. But looking at very excited about another opportunity at them. Really excited about the fact that we're 0-0. We get a chance to start again, and I think our players understand that. One of the first things that we talked about when we were able to start working with our players last May was, hey, we're playing for this tournament. Well, here it is, and everything that's been done up to now, frankly, doesn't matter. Everybody's 0-0. We've got an equal opportunity than as any team does in the country that's not ranked in the top 25 that may be looking at an automatic bid to go to the NCAA tournament.
And, Coach, I know we've talked several times since you've taken the job here at Southeastern that your goal is to win this tournament and be a winner in it for multiple years to come. How important is it to get there in year one and let the kids taste that experience?
Well, that's a great point that you're making, and to be able to really visualize something, and ours is to win the NCAA basketball championship, Division I championship. You got to kind of get there and see what it's like first, as it's a process. It's a stepwise process. So we need to get to this tournament and find out what it's all about. And we've got a young, inexperienced team, a decimated team, but you know what? That doesn't matter at this point. Nobody's feeling sorry for us. We better take care of our business. But I'm excited about it going over there. The atmosphere of the tournament, it's win or go home. We certainly want our players to play in a desperate way.
No doubt about it. The Lions knock off McNeese State. They will play the following night against Northwestern, as Northwestern State has a bye. So the winner of McNeese and Southeastern will take on Northwestern. The winner of that game will take on regular season conference champ Stephen F. Austin. But hey, it's tournament time. It's always a lot of fun. We wish you the best of luck this week over in Katy.
Alan, thank you, and I certainly want to appreciate the job that y'all have done here with the show. And are really excited about what we've been able to accomplish this year and look forward to bigger and better things next year.
No doubt about it. That's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we go, I do want to throw out a compliment, a congratulatory phrase or saying there for the Ponchatoula High School lady basketball team for winning their first state championship. So congratulations to Coach Patricia Landash. That's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for joining us. For Coach Jay Ladner, I'm Alan Waddell. We'll see you next time on Inside Southeastern Basketball. Head Coach Jay Ladner, presented by the Hampton Inn of Hammond.